Hey team, this is George. Appreciate all the effort you've been putting into class, into our discussions, into the blogs and everything else. I appreciate it, and I hope that you're getting something meaningful from human performance technology. Because as we learn more about this, and we're able to put this within our ID experience as well, you simply become more valuable, and value is what I'm hoping to give to you as well. So let's take a look at my favorite statement right here. This is how we've always done it. Man, if I would bet dollars to donuts that everybody here has heard that said at some point. Maybe even we've been the person that's said that a time or two as well. I imagine that I have, just because I didn't want to do something probably. But this comes directly from the affective domain of the person you're talking to. Now, that can be because it is an organizational construct or an individual construct from that person. But what you're generally dealing with is fear of change or some sort of fear. It's always worked so far. Why should I change it? I want to be stuck in my rut. I want to be in my routine. And you will hear that stated so many different ways that it's pretty much incredible. So, as we're looking, let's look at it from an organizational construct. One thing that you don't want to do as a consultant or somebody that's looking for to increase performance is tell somebody what they need to do. What you need to do is, and that will put a brick wall right in between you and the organization, because we all love to be told what we need to do and how we need to do it. So that's why the gap analysis is so important, because they're telling you where they are, or you're really defining where they are, and they're telling you where they want to be. And that gap, that is the room where you can engage in that dance with the organization and your clients and help them discover what they need to do. You think of yourself as cleverly just kind of directing, because things are much more beneficial for the organization when it's their idea. One of the greatest, what I always told my trainers, we had 15 trainers that I led, was when SMEs, students, anybody else leaves and they say it's their class, that's a win. So whenever it's the organization's decision, uh, or discovery, when you help them discover something, that is a big win, because you look like a genius and they feel like they discovered the world and you helped them do it. So you just forged a fantastic relationship. Because remember, performance all boils down to behavior plus our ever present outcomes. So when we add behavior and outcomes, we get performance. So that's what we want to look for. So when they do discover that, you're already set up with metrics to help them measure it, and the metrics are meaningful for them. And what we want it to be meaningful for, to help change that fear of change, is we want to look directly at effort, the amount of effort something takes, the amount of time something takes, or the cost that something takes. If you can hit one of those three, effort, time, or cost, you have done that organization very well, because if they get a better outcome with less effort, less time, or less money, guess what? That is a huge win. So that is what you're dealing with when you hear I've always done it this way, or we've always done it this way. That is a mindset from the affective domain, which is where we carry all of our emotions and everything else. And we need to attack that sort of as a partnership or a dance. So you need to dance with them with that. And that's where the gap analysis is so important, because the data you find in the gap, or what you need to go from current state to future state, what you need to get there to close that chasm, is what will allow them to believe that they found out or discovered what is needed. So that's why you're so valuable, because then what you just allowed them to discover, now they own it. And when they own it, guess what's going to happen? Productivity, or whatever the behavior and outcome are going to spike way up high. And that's what we want, bottom line. So this week, I would love to hear your comments about that as well if you've seen that before. So I'm going to post that somewhere in the discussion board. If anyone wants to just share one of their stories, they can. I'll share a couple of mine too. The discussion board, we're going to have a discussion reflections blog as well, and then our assignment for performance analysis. I went over that assignment in more detail last week, so feel free to watch that announcement again. And if you have any questions, please contact me. Last week we were light on engagement in the discussion boards because we specifically wanted to look at a few things this week. The engagement is going to be back in as far as all the discussion boards. So have a fantastic week and I appreciate all your effort.